So there are a number of stages, but we've spent the last 3 years working our way through all of the requirements of the FATF. We've now advanced to the final stage where the FATF actually sends out assessors to do what is called an on-site meeting. The purpose of this on-site is to establish that all of the measures that we've put in place are effective and sustainable. In other words, they come to check behind us to make sure the things that we've said we did, we've actually done, and that they are able to achieve the purpose. Once we satisfy them of that, then they will make a recommendation to the plenary meeting in February, and the plenary will hopefully accept that recommendation that Barbados be removed from the grey list. So we're very optimistic that the assessors in January will be fully satisfied that we've covered off all of the things that we have to cover off. As long as the plenary meeting accepts that Barbados has completely crossed the threshold, then it is only reasonable to expect that they will say that we are off of the grey list, which is a list of countries that are subject to enhanced monitoring. The EU is a different animal to the FATF. The FATF is the global standard setting body, but the EU as a set of states, as a body made up of several countries, they reserve the right to decide if they accept the position taken by the FATF or not. So, for example, Trinidad had their on-site in 2021. Trinidad was recommended to be removed from the list of countries with enhanced monitoring, so Trinidad got off of the FATF grey list. But up to now, they have not been taken off the EU blacklist because the EU still has some concerns. So it is not an automatic thing to happen, but our expectation, based on all of our bilaterals with EU representatives and so on, our expectation is so long as we are off of the FATF grey list, we would be removed from the EU blacklist. Removal from the blacklist is key because a lot of our businesses, reinsurance and others, have clients in Europe, major clients in Europe, and therefore they have to transact financial business with them. The problem with being on these lists is that it affects what is called correspondent banking. You don't send money in a vacuum. A financial institution here that wants to send money overseas has to go through the banking system. So a correspondent bank is essentially a bank in the other jurisdiction that is going to receive it and pass it on to someone else. 15 years ago, the region had as many as 120 correspondent banks across the world. That number has now dwindled to probably just about 10. So it is especially important for Barbados that we get off of these lists so that the countries with whom we have to do business are comfortable that we're not sending tainted money to their jurisdiction. So